to the screen now.
Whoa, I'm not even on camera. This thing is all janked out. This is crazy. I leave for 3 days and the world has shut down in my studio. There I am. Now I'm back in. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Casual Wrestling Show. If you're new here, hit the sub button right off the bat. If this isn't your first time, welcome back. Make sure to cast your vote for Baddie of the Night. I'll get that up in a second. We've been running through some technical difficulties here. This week's episode is brought to you by the Mike and D Casual Sports Show. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do. This show is simple, guys. You helped me explain to Lauren what happened in wrestling this week on Raw, SmackDown, and everything else on the internet. Casual fans are only allowed. No IWC here. Thank you very much. This is a live podcast, so make sure to submit your hot takes, opinions, and questions in the chat, and we will get to those at the appropriate time. No more paywall for the show. The membership has been taken down. No more super chats. It's just a cool place for people to hang out. If you could, like, share, clip your favorite moments of the show, tell your friends how much fun we're having. The only goal here is to grow the community. Now, with that bullshit out of the way, I see everybody talking about, yes, I have no beard, and it sucks. I hate it. I regret every minute of shaving my face. It was good for Halloween. The costumes came out good.
We're all talking about how young you look, and I'm a cradle robber.
I just aged down, like... at least, 5 years? You think? What do you think?
You got like a baby face.
I got a baby face now?
Huh?
Damn.
I like your mustache, though.
The mustache, y'all were trying to talk me into keeping the mustache. I wasn't about that life. I'm not a mustache guy. I definitely went clean shaven and then I'll let it grow back. The first mistake Lauren has ever made was making Nerdy shave. I agree. Well,
it was
she didn't make me shave. I threw that on you and said you didn't make me shave. We came up with a group costume, and so it
was fine. It was super cool.
You should have kept it until tomorrow.
The
mustache.
They probably wouldn't have recognized you.
Couldn't do it. Long weekend. Fucking long week. We were in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is a beach town in Texas. Not a very pretty beach town, but it's a beach town in Texas. And so we were at a cheerleading, and I thought I was going to have more free time than I did, but I ended up just being locked down. We were constant thing after thing after thing we had to do. So I wasn't even able to get the Discord. I went missing. Mike thought I got howdied. Mike told me he thought I got howdied, so he didn't know where I was. But yeah, we're back. I got to watch Crown Jewel at about noon today. That's when I started it and barely finished it a couple hours, maybe an hour before Raw.
Yeah.
And thoughts on Crown Jewel it was good. I saw some people saying it was 8 out of 10. I think it was a 7 out of 10 in my book. I think the wrestling was great. The wrestling on the show was great. I think where it got me was it felt a little bit like a Saudi Arabia propaganda show. And that's to be expected. That's what they paid for. They paid for those belts that we carried around for the last 3 weeks, that they were in a like bulletproof case.
Who got the belts?
So Liv Morgan and Cody Rhodes got to hold the belts. They don't get the belts. The belts are staying in Saudi Arabia, which is absolutely batshit insane. It's the dumbest thing ever. Yeah. Like the fact that they tried to sell us on the fact that these belts mattered, and then they got to hold them for like 10 minutes, and then they ended up getting championship rings, which should have just been the prize from the very beginning. Should have been championship rings. But obviously, they just needed more props to put in the WWE experience in Saudi Arabia. So that's what ended up happening there. I thought it was a good show. I thought the Bloodline story beats were good. They opened the show. Lauren Solo ended up getting the pin on Roman Reigns because Sami Zayn came out to help Jey Uso and accidentally haluva kicked Roman Reigns, causing him to lose the match. So it's kind of set up for, I think you saw tonight, you were watching Raw tonight. Yeah. You saw the kind of dismay going on between Jimmy, Jey, and Sammy. and the fact that now Jay's referring to him as Sammy Uso, telling him, brother, I need you to come to SmackDown. So that set up the need to watch SmackDown this week, right? So
Yes,
good storytelling there. Thought the beats hit well. I see people going, they're rushing. I don't think they're rushing at this point. I think this is where they have to be in order to get to War Games the way that Sammy kicked him after the match. I'm sorry, not during the match. He kicked him after the match. They lost the match clean. I did forget that. Thank you, Geartooth.
The new Usos one then.
The new Bloodline, not new Usos.
Sorry.
The new Bloodline one. Yes.
New Bloodline.
Yeah, it was after the match that Sammy kicked Roman. He was trying to make the save, and he got involved, and that's what happened. So that was a good match. The women's tag team match was, I know you're going to say I'm biased when it comes to this, but it was a good match. It was actually I thought it set forward a division that has been hurting and been boring for a long time. I think it's a good jumping off point. Now let's see what they do with that, because tonight it looked like the tease is that Bianca and Jade are going to get involved with Liv and Raquel, which I think is fine. I don't think there's any problem with that at all. But there was a lot to like in that match. There was a lot to like from the NXT girls. I thought they did well. Chelsea Green continues in moments where she's given a spotlight. She continues to do well. So I thought it was, We Too Deep says, best match of the night. I could make the argument for that. Now, I sped watched Crown Jewel, so I didn't see every exact moment. But I could agree that it was a solid match. It was exciting. Definitely a good match. Didn't love that Seth Rollins beat my boy Bronson Reed, but after what happened tonight, I think I'm okay with it. I think I've come to terms with the payoff was that Bronson was going to get to whoop everybody's ass tonight.
Is that what he did?
That's what he did, yeah. The main event, Bronson Reed came out and kind of destroyed all the big names that were in the ring. Not mad at that. Got to plant another table tsunami on Seth Rollins. So I think that's a good look. So that, at first didn't love that Bronson Reed lost, but when you lose to Seth Rollins, it's not necessarily a negative thing. There's certain people you can lose to, and it's not going to affect you that much in the future. I think Bronson Reed can come out of this fine. It's just speed bump for Bronson Reed. I think as long as they continue to book him like a monster, he will be fine moving forward. There was a United States Championship match. Some people calling it the best match of the night. I thought it was what it was. It was a good match. You knew that guys like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes were going to be exciting. They fought 7 times. Their chemistry has to be legit at this point. LA Knight botched. He was doing a move where he had to jump up on the ropes and he missed and hit his dinger danger on the ropes and it looked like it hurt pretty bad. Real life? Yeah, definitely missed. This is a question I have for chat. Mm-hmm. What if they just started to work botches into matches purposefully?
I think it'd be kind of funny.
So no, not even for the comedy effect, but for the simple fact that we wouldn't be able to tell when it happened anymore. Because the reality is, even if this was a fight, guys are going to make mistakes. Like, you're going to miss. And if that was built into a match for a guy to, quote unquote, botch a spot, would it take away from this glaring reality that we know exactly what happened? Because after I saw the botch, it actually, it didn't affect the match that poorly because he recovered very well. But there are moments now, I think, like, what if a guy tried to do something and messed up and it just became normal that these botched moves became part of a match? Then we wouldn't know when they really botched. I don't know. I wanted to throw that out there and see what people thought about that. I saw Wavy D said, do you like the move of Randy and KO not having an actual match and just having a street fight? I loved it. Now, that might have been my favorite part of the night, to be honest with you. I think that they didn't need a match, right? Just letting them come out, letting KO come out in the pants and them just slug it out for 10 minutes and it kind of gets drug out of the ring and into the crowd. I liked it. Save that for later. That's being built up to feel like a big deal to me. Like it legitimately feels like something we should be paying attention to. So I am excited for the KO and Randy Orton. And I did think in that moment that works perfectly fine. I think at War Games you can continue it. I think you can continue it for the next couple of months. And then when we decide what we're doing with those guys, I think they both probably come out of this in a favorable position because I think they're just going to beat the life out of each other. There's not going to be a clear winner in this. It's just going to be two guys who beat the shit out of each other. What are they saying in the chat?
That Io was boring. Some people are saying, no, she's not. She's underrated. What did I miss with this?
So we can talk about Io Sky right now. Io Sky, whatever. Io, E-I-E-I-O is what I call her. Yeah, she won the Women's Battle Royal tonight. And so that means she gets the first crack at Liv coming out of Crown Jewel. How do I feel about this? I don't know who else. I mean, look, to me, they're not taking the title off of Liv. It's apparently clear to me at this point. Io's not the one doing it. So this, to me, is a clear-cut sign for everybody who thought that Io Sky was going to win the Royal Rumble. She's not. She's not winning the Royal Rumble. This is the clear-cut sign. She's going to get a title opportunity. She's going to lose to Liv Morgan, and that's that. That's gonna be the end of this little title run, and she can go back to the tag team division, and that's what we're going to get. I tend to side with We Too Deep on this. I still haven't seen anything from Io Sky that makes me go, oh man, she's just amazing. Like she's so good. She's the what they call her, the Queen of the Sky or something like that. I don't know what it is that gets everybody excited about that. They're talking about the spot at the end of the match where Lyra Valkyria took a suplex on the edge of the apron. That was a risky move. I don't know. Sometimes there's moves that I don't even know are worth the risk that they do, but they did that in hopefully Lyra's okay. It's definitely an exciting spot, but I mean looked like it hurt. Definitely looked like it hurt. Same with we'll get to it, the Gable match. I thought that shit.
I googled the botch.
Uh-huh.
And
you saw it?
Yeah.
What's that?
He hit his dinger donger.
Yeah, definitely. He missed. I mean, he landed on the ropes. Those ropes aren't soft. Let's see what we got. Charlotte's gonna win the Royal Rumble. So We Too Deep brought this to my attention at one point. I think that's the correct answer. I think that is the correct answer. I think that Charlotte is going to win the Royal Rumble. I think that the way this plays out is Tiffany's going to win the women's champion or the WWE championship here in the next couple of weeks. I think it became apparent at Crown Jewel that Tiffany's going to cash in. Nia at Crown Jewel, Nia kind of did a move where she hit the other two people into Tiffany and kind of knocked her out. So a little tension in the waves of the water. And so I think We Too Deep's right on that. I do think that Tiffany's cashing in Milwaukee. She's going to win the title there. That's her hometown. People go nuts. They'll be excited. She will slide. I think she'll slide into a babyface role at that point. And I think we get heel Charlotte returning, which heel Charlotte is the best Charlotte. I think we get a heel Charlotte return a little bit before Royal Rumble. And maybe at Royal Rumble, maybe in Royal Rumble. And I think she challenges Tiffy. And I think, hopefully, I like that. I think it'll be a fresh take on a WrestleMania match instead of getting the same like Becky Rhea that we've gotten some form of that for the last, Becky, Rhea, Charlotte, Bianca.
Yeah.
We've gotten that for the last 3 years. It feels like it's time. Some fresh blood injected. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte. Could be a fun match.
True.
I think it'd be a fun match. Tiffany is going to cash in at Survivor Series, going to have to do it sooner or later. Now, I like the Milwaukee thing. I like We Too Deep has planted this seed, and I like the hometown cash in because I think the plan is for the cash in to turn Tiffy babyface, and so best place to do it's at home. Best place to do it is at home where the crowd will react positive, and I don't know about this. I see people who say I used to be in the boat of saying that Charlotte was overrated. And then I watched the podcast with Stone Cold and it changed my opinion on Charlotte Flair. It's not the in-ring stuff that makes me think Charlotte's overrated. I always thought Charlotte was a little overrated on the microphone and things like that. But the last little bit of Charlotte we saw, even as a babyface, I started to turn my opinion and enjoy. So I honestly like Charlotte. I like Charlotte. I think Charlotte, if you ask me right now, just gun to my head, greatest women's wrestler of all time, I'm probably going to say Charlotte.
She makes things exciting because even if you don't like her, you still have an emotion towards her. Whereas like EO, whatever. I could care less if she's on or not.
Wavy D says, the thing is that Charlotte doesn't need to win the Rumble. She has the stardom to just request the match. I agree. So Wavy D, we agree from perspective, like from that, but that's, dude, that Cody didn't need to win the Royal Rumble twice, and he did. Like they don't see the Royal Rumble as a stepping stone anymore. They see it as just a way to solidify a match at WrestleMania. That's the way I believe it. You think Charlotte is overrated until you see the rest of the women's wrestlers? That's a little harsh. I don't know if that's true. She was never even over. That's a strange take, Jim Crack. I mean, it's hard to say that Charlotte wasn't over to me. So tonight's Raw was pre-taped, Lauren, and I avoided spoilers, but that's hard. I don't love the pre-taped wrestling show.
I don't either, because I mean, you could just find out what's going on.
And then so a lot of people do. There's a lot of people who will go on to Twitter. You can't go on to Twitter. So basically, it eliminates you from going on to social media, because once you know it's pre-taped, you have to you got to kind of go into lockdown, social media lockdown. So I couldn't look up news. I couldn't look up like rumors and things. I had to just kind of cut myself off from the wrestling world in order to go in tonight, which I think made tonight much more, pleasant. I enjoyed Monday Night Raw tonight. Like I said, thought it was a good Monday Night Raw for being a pre-taped show, but the spoilers are a little much. I don't like, if we could just, I don't know, like, why not just stay in Saudi Arabia till Monday and do the show Monday? That seems weird to me. Do it live from Saudi Arabia on Monday. I don't understand why we have to do it on Sunday and then get back. Let the SmackDown guys get back and the Raw people go when the Raw people go. That's just me being greedy, though. You know what I mean? It happens, like 4 times a year? So it's not really that big of a deal, but it's nitpicky. I don't like having to avoid all the spoilers. I did see a little bit of news, though. I saw that nobody wants to stay there that long. Then just don't go there. That's my argument. I mean, you don't have to have the propaganda show. We forget. As much as I praise Triple H and I praise WWE, this propaganda shit is stupid. This propaganda, these Saudi Arabia shows where it's clearly, the fact that when Cody Rhodes wins, you get like these high-level Saudi people getting in the ring and kind of parading him around. That starts to feel a little bit like a Tony Khan, like, these are my toys, right? Like the Saudis have a little bit of a stranglehold over WWE, and it's like, I imagine they picked the finish of that match, to be honest with you.
Oh, like they get to decide who does it?
I imagine they told WWE, this is who we want to win these matches.
True.
So that to me, that's probably what happened there. But I did see a little bit of news this week, Lauren, and that was that there's been 3 releases from WWE this week, and that is Tegan Knox, Indy Hartwell, and Baron Corbin, all released from WWE this week. And
interesting.
The only one I'm really
Which
surprised
Tegan Knox
by.
Again?
Tegan Knox was the colored hair one that Triple H brought back.
Okay.
The shiniest wizard, right?
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen her in a while anyway, so.
And to me, the issue is we got to hold Triple H a little bit accountable on this, because he brought Tegan Knox back, and then to not use her and release her like a year or 2 later is definitely interesting to me. But the one that surprised me was Baron Corbin, because he always felt kind of like a company guy to me.
Yeah.
And so the fact that, like they said a week ago, he was filming Netflix commercials for WWE, and then to just all of a sudden out of the blue release him from contract, that to me, that's weird. It feels like there's more to that story that maybe one day we'll find out. I said in the Discord, when I found out, I said in the Discord, I was like, this one's weird. And Mike kind of commented at me, it's probably what Baron Corbin wanted. He's got a lot of other things going on. But Baron Corbin on Twitter has kind of come back and basically said, like, this is bullshit. Like, I was as surprised as you guys were. And like, I'm not happy about this. So that's interesting to me. Wavy D says he's surprised they let go of Indy, especially because she's involved with Johnny, with Ciampa and yeah, I don't understand some of the releases, because if I went down the roster, I could easily name people that if it's cost cutting, right?
Yeah.
If you're cost cutting, I could easily put together a name of 10 names that have no business being there. And Indy Hartwell's probably not one of them. And Baron Corbin's not one of those names. That was surprising. Indy Hartwell feels like if she was ever given the opportunity, there could be something there. And if they ever pulled the trigger on really putting the Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Candice, and Indy thing all back together, I think that could have worked. There's a part of me that says we have to hold Triple H accountable because I'm seeing little by little things that are very geared towards the IWC. And I don't necessarily love the booking, right? Yeah. The EO Sky, which I get Wavy D, I get you love her, but it does feel like that's catering to a certain crowd. I'm seeing certain the Motor City Machine Guns coming in and immediately winning tag team titles, and then you catch fucking Montez Ford on Twitter going, "This is kind of bullshit." Like these,
did he really?
Oh yeah, he came out and vented a little frustration and said, "Look, been doing this a long time. Maybe you forgot what I've done, but seeing two new guys show up now, that could be story, that could be heel turn for Montez, which I hope it is, but also." It could be signs, and I will say, We Too Deep, this is a show where I'm going to praise you a lot. We Too Deep told us a long time ago, he said, hold up on the Triple H praise. He is an IWC booker. And it started, I'm seeing little people, it's almost, and it's not necessarily like he's jumping all the way in the IWC pool, but it does feel like to me that Triple H has like an ear to the internet, and he goes, all right, about 35 to 40% of the time, I'm going to do what pleases these people instead of doing what has worked in WWE fashion for a long time.
Remember when we watched Indy get married? Who created all of that world?
That would have been Triple H, I believe. That was the black and gold well, was it black and yeah, that was the end of the black and gold, right? That was before they transferred to the like color splash NXT. So yeah, I mean that was Triple H who was in charge of that stuff. So it's kind of weird because it felt like those NXT talents were Triple H's people, and it does. So for everything Triple H does well, it does feel like he drops the ball equally as much. And maybe it's just so early in this that we're really hanging on, because what he does, it's like the mountains are high and the peaks are low is what I'm seeing, right? And it'll be interesting to see when it starts to level out, because we've gone through some dips where I've said like, this is a bad premium live event. This is very bad booking. And then it feels like he's saved by maybe the bloodline or maybe a good Seth Rollins story. So I'm interested to see when things start leveling out, and now that he's made some cuts, let's see where things go and what happens. But we got to hold him accountable. We definitely have to hold him accountable. They're still talking about Charlotte in the chat. I mean, I get it. It's a good conversation. What else happened tonight on Monday Night Raw? The Wyatt Six stuff.
I briefly saw that.
I hate the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six suck. I mean, at this point, it's just so messy. It's so hard to understand for me that like, so they were baby faces against American Made, right? And they went after Chad Gable because he turned on his family and Otis. So they attacked him and they tortured him and they terrorized him. And then they just left. They just decided that was it. We're done. We're leaving. Now they're going after The Miz. And now we're playing footage from back when Bo Dallas was part of the B Team, which was like the Miz entourage. Yeah. They were like a group. The Miz helped them. And it was crazy to me. That like we're going back there. So once again, Wyatt Six, until I'm told differently, the IWC has screamed in my ear they are baby faces. I don't know of what baby face has ever kidnapped somebody, taken them to a dark room where nobody knows where they are, hijacked the live feed of WWE, and had Miz tied up and were threatening him. That doesn't scream babyface to me. It also doesn't scream, like the argument was always that like, this new Uncle Howdy is Batman. He's back for vengeance. He's corrected. That didn't feel very Batman-like tonight. That felt more like the Penguin, right? That felt more like the Joker. Like that felt like a bad guy who had kidnapped. I mean, I know Miz isn't they turned Miz heel, but it doesn't feel like Miz is that bad. Like you can look around, you can find a lot worse people than the Miz in WWE that you could probably go deal with. I like the Miz. Dead Chef says, I think Dexter just likes Miz. Yeah, I said, they were saying like, oh, it's all about family. I think they just want booty at this point. I think the Wyatt Six are looking for booty. Like, I think Chad Gable got his booty played with. I think The Miz probably got his booty played with. It's starting to feel like the Wyatt Six, a little creepy. Might be at Diddy parties. Might be a Diddy thing.
There's that crazy thing that happened at the end.
Baby D says, we're running back the Dexter Lumis and Miz. I love it. All right, cool. Maybe that story is for you. I can't get behind it. Gear 2 says, I get that Bray died. It is sad, but this will not work without him. I don't know if it would have worked with him. Oh, that's what you said. Yeah, I don't know if it would have worked with him. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it's messy. It's all over the place. Like, it needs consistent storytelling. It needs a clear, defined motive. Because when Bo Dallas is speaking in, like, tongues and going, you're just a grain of sand and we're going to return you to the earth, that just sounds like threats of murder to me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not reading into it too deep, but it does feel like this is messy. The Wyatt Six feel messy to me. They do. It's the second time that Dexter Lumis has kidnapped The Miz. Yeah. Come on. Adam Pearce, where are you, bro? You're going to have to get on top of that. What are they talking about? Undertaker, Boogeyman, Kane were all creepy faces in a way. I'm going to argue that again. When The Undertaker was kidnapping people, he was a heel. The Boogeyman was just weird, but this feels more malicious. Like, this feels like they're targeting certain people.
I still don't understand. Why did they kidnap him? Like, what did he do that's
so
bad?
Dead Chef tried to explain it to me as, like, anybody who turns on their quote-unquote family, that's who they're going after. But, like, I think it's a very long stretch to say that The Miz and R-Truth were family. They tagged together since WrestleMania. That's not a long time. Okay? And R-Truth did do a lot of stupid things, to be honest, right? And if it goes back to the B team stuff, then that's less vengeance and that's more revenge. To me, they're a fine gimmick, but like they need to try and take some of these story elements out of it and just have them come out and fight spooky matches and do their spooky entrances. The IWC are too wrapped up in their emotions to assess the group honestly. Yeah, maybe so. That's probably true. So Xavier Woods continues his heel turn, but at this point, this is the Triple H stuff where I go, what are you doing? Like, you've driven this thing at 5 miles an hour. You've run this heel turn so long that I have no excitement now for a Xavier Woods heel because he's basically just like kind of a complaining bitch. And Xavier Woods has so much potential. He could lead a faction. He's so good. He's so good on a microphone. Like, he's great in the ring. And now he's just become kind of a bumbling little, like, just babbling bitch and blaming things on Kofi Kingston. And it's like, it becomes all of a sudden, people have to become ignorant to make the turn. Like, Xavier Woods why did Xavier Woods all of a sudden just become stupid? And, like, not understand why they lost a match last week? Like, that to me, that's dumb. Don't insult the intelligence of the crowd and don't insult the intelligence of Xavier Woods by completely flopping his character in order to, because who does this, at this point, like the question for Chad is, at this point, who does this benefit? So are we trying to are we rebuilding Kofi Kingston back into a big baby face? If so, I didn't get that vibe. Or is it that we're just breaking up the New Day because we feel like they've been together too long? What is the end game of this for Xavier Woods, for the New Day, for Kofi Kingston? I don't know what it is, because what are you creating?
Why would he like rebuild up Kofi though?
Well, I mean, nothing wrong with building up Kofi if that's the plan. If the plan is to make Kofi babyface, like, big time babyface, that's fine. I don't think Kofi needed this to get there. I think the original intention of this was to create and give Xavier Woods an opportunity to kind of have his moment in the spotlight, because Big E got his, Kofi got his, and I've always said I think Xavier deserves that singles run that he never got, and I thought with a heel turn it could come, but now all of a sudden they're just, they're treating, We2D says, in real life, Xavier Woods has a PhD. He's that level of smart. So he's that level of smart, yet we're going to dumb his character down so much. that he's stupid. I see Gear 2 say, perhaps Odyssey Jones threw a monkey wrench into the plan. Sure. Yeah, like, sure, that probably fucked it up, but there was better ways to do it. You just the week after could have had Xavier snap and go, I told you that Odyssey was a bad idea. You continue to look for other people. Like, that's fine. But you didn't have, like, we've drugged this out to the point where I think most people would tell you they don't care anymore.
The Odyssey guy was fired, right?
Yeah, he was fired. So I think I would argue right now that, Lauren, are you able to get into the chat?
Yes.
Can you put up a poll for Baddie of the Night?
Yes, I will.
Okay, because I forgot we didn't put that up.
Okay.
Triple H takes too long to do everything. Once again, these are things that I would have 6 months ago, I would have argued adamantly against you guys when you said this. When you guys said Triple H takes too long, I'd argued, oh, you impatience to give him time. I'm starting to get to the point where I agree. I'm starting to get to the point where I believe that Triple H is a slow mover. He's afraid. Triple H looks for these perfect moments to pull the trigger. And I think that's becoming a slight issue. This past weekend during my boys' trip to the casino, I introduced my boys to the Nerdy D show and the Hear Me Out segments. They were big fan. Hell yeah, Wavy D. Hell yeah. Keep it moving. Keep it going. The Hear Me Out. This week's gonna be good. This week's Hear Me Out is gonna be good, Lauren. It's sitcom moms.
Oh, okay.
That was thrown out in the Discord. Sitcom moms, hear me out. He just wants to coast until the big four. Yeah, I said that a couple weeks ago, that I think Triple H's plan is, if I hit the big four, if I nail it at the big ones, people won't remember the little ones. And I don't love that style of booking. I don't love that, we get a great WrestleMania, we get a great Survivor Series, we get a great Royal Rumble, and we get a great SummerSlam. And then everything in between that is weird fan service that has like one good match and then 4 matches that cater to the crowd. I don't love that. Dragon Lee versus Gable, I talked about a little bit earlier, but this was just an AEW match. I didn't think that this style of wrestling was going to bleed over to WWE, but this was just guys beating each other up, no selling every move. I don't understand. What is the IWC's infatuation with a guy getting hit with like a clothesline or a suplex and then popping right back up? They get all fucking excited. Oh shit. Oh my God. Oh wow. It's like, why? That's not real. If I hit someone with a clothesline at a bar, they're not getting right back up. Like, that's not real. I don't like this thing where, like, and especially for like Chad Gable and Dragon Lee, if the Undertaker does it, we go, oh shit, the Undertaker's like using his ministry powers, right? But for Gable and Dragon Lee to just no sell the entire match was absolutely insane to me. And they did some crazy shit. Fucking Dragon Lee did a front flip off the side of the apron and landed on his back. That match to me just wasn't good. As far as like WWE style wrestling. Maybe it's good. Maybe that was meant for the IWC. I don't know what they're doing with Gable. Jesus, at this point, I wish Gable wouldn't have re-signed a contract. I think Gable, if Gable's going to wrestle AEW style matches in WWE, he should have just taken the bag and gone to AEW at this point. He probably would be in a better position, because all of a sudden he's gone from like WWE darling to jobbing out to the LWO. What's the end game for him too? Having him lose every week doesn't make sense to me. We went from jobbing to Uncle Howdy to now we're jobbing to the LWO. American Made had so much potential.
Do you have a list of the baddies?
Yeah, I can tell you. I can just tell you.
Okay.
Let's see. The baddies. Wavy D sent them to me. The baddies are you able to do it?
Yeah.
Bianca Belair, of course. You better type that name too.
Mm-hmm.
Jade Cargill, Raquel Rodriguez, and Alba Fire. That's who he had. Bro was set up to be IC champ. Yeah, he was. I mean, it felt like he was fast track. I had him as the guy who was going to beat Gunther, and then now he's jobbing to Dragon Lee. Like, fuck. Jeez, man. Triple H pushed him just so he could re-sign. Yeah, Brother Sam, once again, it feels, I'd argued I'd argued that 6 months ago. But today, I can't defend it. I can't mount a defense against that argument. Like, pushed him to the moon, made us feel like Chad Gable was a real deal, let him talk. Hey, when's the last time Chad Gable got to hold a microphone? Can anybody tell me that? When's the last time that Chad Gable got to talk on a microphone? Someone tell me that. What's up, Tristan Sloan?
What up?
Happy to be part of the Casual Wrestling. We're happy to have you, Tristan. We are definitely happy to have you. I like Chad Gable. He shouldn't be treated. You shouldn't be treated. Well, I'm not being treated like this, but Chad Gable shouldn't be treated like that for sure. I'll agree with that. I don't know what they're doing.
I liked him as part of the whole Alpha Academy. Like,
so the Alpha Academy stuff was great, but the turn between Otis and Chad Gable was so beautifully done. It was so beautifully worked that it felt like just like perfect storytelling, and it felt like it was leading into Otis becoming a babyface, a legitimate babyface, and it felt like it led to Gable becoming the heel that he needed to be and creating this new group, the American Made, which to me, Gable was going to skyrocket the Creed brothers because Creed brothers are great. Creed brothers have every possibility in the world to be great. And then you had Ivy Nile, who also has all the talent in the world. And like, who just said that? Dead Chef just said. They got howdied. And when you get howdied, it means you're just done. So, sorry, Miz, this may be the end of your career. I don't. So, there's a lot of things. Like, I can't. 6 months ago, Lauren, I'd argued with people in the chat when they were taking shots at Triple H. Today, I can't. I can't find the defenses to defend Triple H. And but don't get me wrong by any means. There's good things happening in wrestling. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like WWE has no dark spots right now. It's got some real bad shit going on. Is there any world where we can book Chad Gable into a miracle run and win either the Rumble or the Chamber to get into a Mania match? So is there a world? Sure. I think we'd all be okay with it. That's the weird thing, right? I think we would all endorse that kind of storytelling, Wavy D. The problem is, I don't think Triple H even has. If you're losing to Dragon Lee in November, it is a long road to tell me that you're going to win the Royal Rumble with the other names that are going to be in that match. I right now kind of have CM Punk penciled in to win the match because just like Charlotte Flair, I don't think the Royal Rumble is a stepping stone anymore. It's more of a kind of propaganda media relations move where you want two big names winning so that you can get the headlines and people paying attention. And Charlotte and CM Punk makes sense for that. I could see, but now we'll see. We'll see. Triple H is not a good booker, not a better booker than Vince McMahon. I don't like that argument just because towards the end, I think, Vince McMahon was so predictable that I don't think his booking, I used to, one of the ways that like a lot of people found me was I was just calling Vince McMahon shots just left and right. Like I just knew, it felt like I had like a crystal ball because I was just calling, but it was because Vince McMahon was just so predictable. Triple H, it's a lot harder I will say for Triple H, he at least, like sometimes there's some things you don't see coming.
True.
The men's Royal Rumble, I believe Roman Reigns is going to win. I don't think so. I don't think Roman wins. I don't think he's not going to be around the title for a while. The Roman Rock, I think, is the play. I still believe we're getting Cody Orton. I think that's the play at WrestleMania. So I could see, so Junkyard James. So I was just saying, I see Randy Cody. I think that if I was placing odds, Randy is up there to win the Royal Rumble for me. Yeah. I do believe that.
Randy.
Gunther, last couple things we'll talk about here. Gunther tonight, Gunther's broken. I think we fucked Gunther up. I think we called him the snooze general. Gunther's been reading our chat. Gunther sees what we're saying. Gunther's a broken man right now. I don't know what's going on. Gunther was full on heel a couple weeks ago. Cody Rhodes beats him, and now all of a sudden he's just a broken man who respects Cody Rhodes. Gunther's just a pussy. I mean, that's what it is. Let's call it how it is. Gunther's just a pussy. Like, I don't know. Like, you talk about just strange booking of a world heavyweight champion. This is the strangest booking of a world heavyweight champion. To go from, just months ago, completely degrading Damien Priest and telling him he was like poor street trash, to now he's just riding on Cody Rhodes' nutsack. That's the story of Gunther. Turn him babyface at this point. Like, Gunther needs to be a babyface at this point. But I think, once again, this is all a product of the Saudi Arabia propaganda machine, right? They wanted Cody to win. They wanted this match. This is me going on. I have no information. This is me going out on a limb and saying that Saudi Arabia sat down with Triple H and TKO and they said, we have an idea. And Triple H was like, okay, what? Let me hear it. And they go, we want champion versus champion. And Triple H goes, I don't know if we can really do that. We like to protect our champions. You know, Gunther's kind of on a run here. Cody's on a run here. Let's not do that. And then Saudi Arabia goes, but we've got all this money. And Triple H goes, well, okay, I'm listening. And they go, yeah, no, champion versus champion. We're gonna give you this $1.5 million belt. And Triple H goes, oh, you're gonna give that to us? Okay, well, I'll listen, right? And then they go, all these bags of money, you can take those with you. And Triple H goes, all right, so you need who to win? Cody? Sure, we can make that happen. Like, to me, that's how that conversation went. Because this is like the least WWE move that I think we've gotten in a long time, is to put champion versus champion. And the finish didn't bother me. I thought the finish was fine. I actually didn't mind it, but you would think Gunther would come out of that thing screaming and mad and saying it was a fluke, and instead he's just kind of accepted his fate, which I don't.
Did he shake his hand at the very end?
He did. He did.
Oh,
they shook hands. Yes, they shook hands.
I don't like this whole new handshaking.
I don't either.
Afterwards.
I don't either. It's wrestling. Like, these guys are supposed to hate each other. They're not supposed to shake hands. And Gunther shaking. I think Damien is going to win the title back in New York at Saturday Night Main Event in December. That makes sense. It's Damien's hometown. That's fine. We may lose power here in a minute, guys.
True.
Just FYI. I'm not howdied. Just so you know. I will mark myself as safe from being howdied. It is lightning like crazy outside my window. So if we just disappear, understand that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. But the last thing was, I think they missed an opportunity. I think Dominic Mysterio should have won tonight. That's going to be my last big point, is that I feel like the momentum was with Dom. I don't know if I see what We Too Deep saying, the Damian Priest versus Gunther match. And if Damian Priest wins, then I'm good. But I just feel like Dom had an opportunity. I've been the biggest hater of Dominic Mysterio over the last 3 years. And if he would have won the World Heavyweight title, if he would have beaten these three guys tonight and then gone on to somehow beat Gunther, it would have been like the greatest I'm wrong moment I've ever had. Like, to say, I've said Dom will never be a world champion. This was the moment. Like, this was the moment where you even had me on board of like, all right, I'll eat the shit in this one to see Dominic Mysterio as world champion. And they couldn't pull that trigger. Because you still could have plenty of stories down the road. But at this point, it looks to me, I don't know, We Too Deep, you tell me, I think they've given up on Gunther. I think Triple H has had to look in a mirror and go, we got to go back to the drawing board with Gunther.
He just didn't get over.
I think there's a problem with Triple H sticking to rigid plans instead of going with the flow. I agree with that. And that I agree with from seeing the way he talked in the WrestleMania documentary, where he goes, we know the plan 6 months ahead. We just have to figure the road to get there. And sometimes what makes wrestling special is driving off the road. Mm-hmm. Is that, hey, we didn't see this exit right here where shit was going to get wild. Let's make a hard right and see what the hell happens. We could always try to figure out how to get back to that highway, but it does feel like Triple H is very steadfast in the fact that he's like, stay on the road, go one speed, and we're going to get to that destination. He only had to change Mania because the Big Show was in danger. Yeah, I agree. It was almost had to be forced for him to make that change, because it felt like he wanted, against everything that was going on, he wanted to keep that main event the way it was.
Wait, the Big Show was in danger?
No, he's talking about the Big Show, the WrestleMania as a big show, like as if not the Big Show.
I was like, where was the Big Show? Did I miss that?
No, he's saying like the Big Show wasn't. People were genuinely livid. What are your WrestleMania predictions? As far as I don't think it's triple threat. So I don't think it's going to be Roman, Cody, and Rock. I think we get Rock versus Roman. I think we get Cody versus Orton. I think we get Tiff versus Charlotte. On the other side, I think with Rhea out, there's a good chance Liv holds on to the title and we get Liv versus Rhea at WrestleMania. I really do believe that's a possibility. Someone's saying they want to see Goldberg versus John Cena at WrestleMania. First time ever double retirement match. I guess I'm not
How
that excited
lively
for
will
that.
that be?
Yeah, it's two old guys
Full
slugging
Monday
it out.
brace.
Thoughts on MVP Lashley and Benjamin reuniting in AEW? I'm happy for them. I hope it goes well. I'm kind of at a new point in my wrestling journey where I think I'm done hating AEW. It's just not for me. Like, I've come to terms, it's not for me. I don't hate it, and I wish some of those guys the best. I hope MVP does well with Lashley and Benjamin. I hope things like that, to me, it's Triple H might need a wake-up call. He might need to look over and go, oh, I had all three of those guys? All three of those guys were in my company a couple months ago, and I couldn't put that group back together? So I hope for the best. I imagine, the problem is with Tony Khan, how long until he gets uninterested with them? What?
It moves on to something else.
Yeah, it moves on. How long till he realizes Bobby Lashley is just way too big for everybody else on the roster and it's not believable that he could whoop everybody's ass? Like that, to me, that's the fear. But yeah, I don't hate AEW. I don't even I kind of I used to would follow AEW through news, and really now it's almost non-existent. It's as non-existent to me as TNA wrestling is. I'm solely focused on WWE and being hypercritical of that product and seeing the good and seeing the bad and not trying to. For a while, I think I was seeing WWE good guy, AEW bad guy, and I think I've kind of pushed AEW to the side, and now I'm just watching WWE objectively. I think that's what I'm doing. WWE loses Lashley, but we got to put up with Cody and Gunther as champs. Yeah, I mean, I don't love that we lost Lashley. He is old, though. My only argument for the Bobby Lashley thing is he's old. He's old, and I don't know what you do with a guy that old. AEW seems to be willing to let guys go long into the tooth, but WWE doesn't seem to be as much.
Yeah.
What is up, Renaya Wells? What is going on? Hello back to you. Dead Chef, that's a good way for Gunther to get hurt. What's he talking about? I missed something.
Gets Goldberg.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's funny. That match should have happened way sooner. Should have happened right after the premium live event. It felt like everybody was gassed up for that match. Where Goldberg. Holy shit, that was a loud one.
That was.
But. Yeah, what else? I saw something else I wanted to talk about before the lightning almost
Bobby
struck
is better
the house.
than Messy King's Cody.
Yeah, I guess. It's age is the argument there. Age becomes the argument to me. AEW. That's what it was. AEW's in my neck of the woods in a couple weeks debating.
I don't think there's anything wrong with going. It's entertaining.
It's fun. It's fun to go. Especially because the tickets are usually pretty cheap. You can usually get good seats. You're going to get a couple legitimate wrestling matches. The problem is going and expecting great storytelling. If you just go and you just go enjoy it as a one-off show, kind of like a local show. Sometimes we have River City Wrestling, and sometimes we go and we don't know the stories. We're just there to yell and have fun, and there's a guy dressed as a king. We don't know why he's a king, but he's a king, right? Mm-hmm. That's the way I think you have to view AEW, is you watch... Gear 2 said he's going to watch AEW see Costco guy fight. We might have to talk about that. That might be
I might want to see Costco
legitimate thing. Lashandra Davis says, at Survivor Series, do you think Bloodline 2.0 versus Sammy, J, Jimmy, and Roman? 100%. No, Sammy and them, they're going to work all this out on Friday. There'll be a little bit more tension, and there'll still be tension going into the match. But this is the plan. This has been the plan since day one. I got nervous. I thought we were deviating off the plan. But this is the plan. This will work. There's going to be a come home moment where Roman and Sammy get it together, they figure it out, and it's going to be a big kumbaya, and people are going to go nuts.
Dead Chef says we should do the baddie of the week before we lose power.
All right, let's move on. Yeah, I mean, we're 51 minutes anyway. It's hot as shit in this room. Oh, no. Let's do baddie of the week, and then I got to start prepping for the sports show tomorrow anyway. And we got to wake up early to go vote.
Yes, I do.
So who's the baddie? Baddie of the night. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, Lauren.
Oh, I'm going to give it to you. I voted for Bianca this time.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what they're doing with Raquel Rodriguez. I like her. I think she's a pretty girl. But if she's trying to be a chola, she's not doing it right.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb tonight. Very crazy Zelina Vega was not on this list.
I thought Zelina Vega looked pretty.
I might have voted for Zelina Vega tonight.
Y'all made fun of me, but in the Discord I said Bianca and what's her name's outfits look a little bit like Ant-Man's costume.
I think it was intentional though. They were superheroes. Yeah, they were fly, man. They were superheroes. That's what they were doing. I thought it was a little bit of a Deadpool look, is what I thought.
Very smart, very kind.
Way Too Deep says, "Why is Alba on here?" Yeah, I don't even know why Raquel was on here, to be honest with you. But this is not my call. I thought okay, Wavy D, you defend yourself there. I thought the 2 times that I saw Zelina Vega, I thought she definitely.
I didn't see what Alba Fire was wearing. I didn't see her.
I didn't either. I don't even remember what she was wearing. It looked like Deadpool. Yeah, it did look like Deadpool to me. I think that's what they were doing. I thought it was Deadpool, Lauren. And Bianca had the lips on hers, and Jade had the lightning on hers. That's what I thought.
I didn't notice that.
You missed it. You messed up.
I did.
You messed it up.
I was on the right track.
Oh, new thing to talk about before we get out of here. There is a place on casualwrestling.com now to submit topics.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to submit topics, you can submit a video. If you want to be on the show, you can submit a video. We'll play the video and talk about it. But I updated the website now. It has links to all the social media, and it has a place where you could submit a topic. Didn't like Zelina's hair tonight. Interesting.
The red and black thing?
Thought it was white and black, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it was white and black.
Kind of reminded me of what was that?
Cruella de Vil. Reminded me of Cruella de Vil.
Oh, that too. Yes.
I liked it. But I'm never gonna be mad when Bianca Belair wins. What is this? 6 wins? She got 6 wins? We gotta start talking about a Hall of Fame.
We said 10 wins.
Yeah, but we're getting dangerously close.
But we're not there yet.
We're getting very dangerously close. When the vote is not skewed and you guys don't cheat, she wins. You just didn't have time. You didn't have time to get your coup together is what it was. See, I didn't put it up early enough for you to switch accounts 4 times and skew the votes here.
Accounts. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
That's fake news, sir.
I can see.
Fake news.
I can see the analytics.
Well, great. There's lots of people who come in. And vote,
Lysandra, we talked about this earlier, Lysandra. I don't think Io Sky. Wavy D, you always correct me. Is it Io Sky? I forget. I tend to go back into my southern slang here. Is it Io Sky or is it Io Sky?
I think I call her something different each time.
I do too. And Wavy D very early on corrected me, and I got it right for a while, but then I think I've slid back. It's Io. So I think I'm saying it right. I think I've been saying Io.
Think of old McDonald, and you remember
Io Sky. I think because I think Wavy D corrected me early on, and I tried to make a mental note, let's get this right. Let's nail this down. So it's Io Sky. Do I think Io Sky will win the belt? No, I don't think she'll win the belt. I don't think they're taking it off of Liv. I think the plan here is at this point with Rhea's hurt, Lauren, orbital fracture or something like that.
Oh, was that real? I thought all that stuff was fake.
So I saw people saying that the orbital fracture is real. I saw people saying maybe she's pregnant. So I've seen different stories, but from what the little bit of research I did, it felt like it was real, that she's taking time off. I can't imagine she's just taking random time off. Tristan Sloan says all the WWE baddies have dump truck cakes. Let's be honest. I guess, yeah, that's pretty fair. It's a pretty fair assessment. Real injury, but they wrote her off. I thought so.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll have to look how long an orbital fracture takes. But if it's within the time frame of WrestleMania, then I think they're going to. We got to talk about this in just a second before we get out of here. The mic thing, because I don't know if you saw it. But I'll have to look up. Tristan speaking like a casual veteran right now. So here's the thing, Lauren. Mike posted a video in Discord. He went to Taco Bell today. Okay. Never seen this shit in my life. Breathed into the camera and blew full out like dragon smoke. He said it was so cold inside the Taco Bell.
Dang.
But he said it was 65 degrees outside.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, can you imagine how cold? It's got to be real cold to see your breath. He blew out like
Costco today and
dragon
refrigeration center, and
Yeah,
like,
but
you couldn't do that.
Yeah, we went into the freezer section of a Costco with the produce, and I did not see my breath the way Mike saw his breath inside of Taco Bell. Those tacos had to have been cold the minute they got put in the wrapper.
Yeah,
it was wild
for sure.
So they're
I'm
saying
gonna have to go back and look at that.
Mike. I think Mike's bowling tonight. I think that's what it is. Mike bowls on Mondays.
Bowling.
But he's supposed to come in here and give us a bowling update on his score. Google says orbital fractures can take a few weeks to a few months. That feels like right in line to get to WrestleMania. It gets cold up here, guys. I'm sure it does. It's 89 today in Texas, 89 degrees, and apparently there was a thunderstorm coming that I didn't know about.
Me neither.
I think there's a cold front coming, so maybe it'll be 70 tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it. Anybody got anything else?
No. I mean, we'll see what happens on Friday.
So yeah, SmackDown should be good.
It'll be a live show again, right?
What'll be live?
Friday.
Yeah, we're back to live shows. Friday will be good. We'll get the good thing about he said 89. Wow, so cold. In Texas, dude. In Texas, 89, people stop swimming. Like we're done. Like most places, 89 is a hot day.
Mm-hmm.
In Texas, we're like, we can't swim. It's cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, we had 45 mile an hour winds. We had heat for Halloween. It was just hot.
Yes.
Don't forget NXT is on Wednesday this week. It's going to be a good one. I just can't. I want to watch NXT. I just can't. I don't have the time. Someone needs to jump on our channel and do an NXT show.
Yes, sir.
It would help me be excited about it.
I like to know in like 5 minutes about what happened, you know?
Yeah, I get you. But thank you guys for hanging out, coming to the Casual Wrestling Raw After Show. As always, you're invited to the rest of the shows this week. The Mike and D Casual Sports Show on Tuesday. The Nerdy D Pod on Wednesday, which is, Lauren.
What?
The Sitcom Moms.
Oh.
I saw Wavy D's Wavy D dumped some photos on me before. He's got some good. Wavy D's back on assignment.
But it has to be a hear me out, right? Like you have to be like, would I?
Most sitcom moms are going to be hear me out. I think it's a pretty safe talk. The problem was with the Halloween.
One from George Lopez was pretty.
Oh my God.
So.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes. If someone hasn't submit her right now.
But is that really a hear me out?
True. Very true.
You know?
But I think they all are hear me outs. I think sitcom moms are safe. I think the problem with the Halloween one was that a lot of them were just like, a lot of Halloween actresses are just young, like attractive actresses.
It's on Wednesday now, right?
I thought NXT is on Tuesday. I enjoy making people laugh. Not this week. It's on Wednesday. It's on Wednesday this week.
All right.
Then we have the SmackDown after show on Friday. Everything's back to normal this week. No taking nights off. But for now, that's all we got. The party never stops. Saw some new people in here tonight. If you're not in the Discord, we'll throw the Discord link in the description of this video. Join the Discord. Come hang out. Sometimes we talk about wrestling. Sometimes we talk about cookies. Sometimes we talk about, I don't know, crazy shit, video games. So if you're not already in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord tonight. Like, share, and comments on the video. Lauren, play us out with a final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's a nothing can wrong. We about to make noise.